Welcome to See You All Making Choices, where we correct misrepresentation of Nigeria and Africa. Today we'll be exploring how to make empowering choices for Nigeria and the continent. I travel quite often and I'm really surprised at how positive Americans feel about their country, most of whom have not left the country. I'm convinced more and more that for us to build Africa, we have to believe it is the only place, no alternative. The notion that there's always an alternative is what keeps us from investing in our continent and in our country. And many of us who are well-traveled know the West is not better than Africa. They just believe it's the best. We need that same belief for our system. Let's do this together. To build the nations in Africa, to build Nigeria, we need to emulate the passion Americans have for their country. Believe me, it's all about narrative about what you believe. For many years, I've been trying to figure out how the global community has gotten away with the messaging that Africa's development and growth is premised on it being debt-free. Yet Western countries are more in debt and are plowing away very well. The top 5 debtors in the world are the United States of America, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. These countries provide aid to Africa. Please tell me, how are they able to build their nations and give aid while in debt? Since 2012, the number 1 debtor, the United States of America's official debt has equaled or exceeded its GDP, $21.5 trillion GDP and 22.5 trillion national debt. Besides these, the country carries 200 trillion in unfunded liabilities over the next decades. But the United States is the largest economy in the world. What makes a country credit or debt worthy? And the country's asset? Why does the United States have more assets than the Democratic Republic of Congo? Yet the Democratic Republic of Congo has more natural resources than the United States. Why should Africans settle for this? Why should we settle for the narrative? Why should we accept what is said, especially when it's against us? Do we continue to accept disabling messages, especially when these messages empower others at our own expense? Despite its debt, a homeless crisis, frequent sudden onset disasters, and nearly 10,000 deaths from gun violence this year alone, Americans tell us that their country is the best in the world. And Americans, most of whom have never left the United States, believe this. You know what this means for us Africans? We must stop building our nations on the prediction of worst-case scenarios by the messaging from international development and international humanitarian systems. These are often couched in a language of helping us prevent large-scale crisis or poverty, but these are lies. What will it take, fellow Africans, what will it take, my dear Nigerians, to start recognizing that the grass is not greener in other countries? Fellow Africans, my dear fellow Nigerians, words create, messaging matter. Let us start by affirming what we have and the resources available to us, and we are rich and blessed. By not affirming what we have, we're letting others exploit us. I believe our development, our growth, our empowerment starts in the narrative and the words we speak into our present. This is the spirit and passion required to build a nation. We have so much in this continent. We are letting the narrative from the West dissuade us from harnessing the resources we have in this continent for the growth and the development of this continent and its people. Thank you very much for exploring this topic with me. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.